Yo guys, what's going on? Ace is here today with another Arc Raiders video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the hype of Arc Raiders. When this video releases, it should be exactly 31 days after my previous video. Now, it is being recorded a little bit in advance, but just know when this does release, it'll be exactly 31 days after my last video talking about Arc Raiders, so an entire month, and we're going to be breaking down how the hype has completely died for Arc Raiders. And there was a lot of people who were saying, hey, Arc Raiders is not going to lose any hype. It's still going to be that game. And while I don't disagree, when the game comes out, it's still going to be that game. But in the moment right now, there is not a soul talking about Arc Raiders. And I think that is a negative for Arc Raiders as a whole. I think we need to continue talking about it. And yes, I'm not doing any favors by not uploading for a month. I can't say anything. I'm in the same boat. But at the same time, I feel like the amount of people who were kind of, talking down on other people who were saying, hey, this is the best time for Embark to capitalize on Arc Raiders, they were absolutely right. I was saying the same thing. I do believe Arc should have went into some kind of beta or some kind of early access, and now we're seeing the direct result of that there is absolutely zero hype. There is zero trends. There is zero anything regarding Arc Raiders right now. So instead of just talking out of my ass, let me show you some data to back this up. The first and probably the most important of the data sets is going to be Google Trends. This is basically just a search from April 1st, 2025 to July 1st, 2025, and it shows just the broad term of Arc Raiders and when we have the most interest and the lowest interest. So you can see right when playtest 2 is happening, Arc Raiders was at 100. And honestly, with the amount of FOMO that was happening, I completely understand. Everybody wanted to get their hands on Arc Raiders, and that's when it was the most hype. And we have one other blip here on this trend chart, and I'm sure you guys know what it is. Summer Games Fest. When everyone was saying, hey, game is going to release, game's going into beta, it's going to be playable in some way, shape, or form, and that wasn't the case. And I think a lot of us were very, very angry at the fact that there was absolutely no beta, there was no additional playtest, just the release date in October. And you can see, since then, it has completely died. Now, before, like the end of April, it was at like a 1 to 2 on the trends. It's a little bit higher now on the tail end. Near like June 15th, you have, a 5 on the trends. So still not great at all. But, towards the end of June and the beginning of July here, we're back at 2. So the hype has completely died for Arc Raiders, just as the general public is either discovering the game or talking about the game. It's actually just not happening. And Embark's not doing anybody any favors either by only tweeting once since their previous tweet, and it was about game balancing, which we're not going to dive into that here, but I will actually make a video on that because I haven't covered it yet. There hasn't been too much to cover. I don't want to just sit here and speculate about stuff. We saw how that went the last time. Don't get me wrong, we had a really good time with it, but we'll get to that. Different video. So before their last tweet was the missing the Rust Belt tweet. This was on May 7th, which got 479,000 views, got 6,000 likes, 600 shares of some form, whether that is, quote tweets or just repost, and then it had roughly 800 replies to it. Recently, on June 27th, we had the balancing tweet, and that had 161 replies, which I'm sure a lot of them are just people saying release the game. Then we had, 214 shares of some sort and 2.5k likes with a view count of 136,000. This is a significant drop-off, even for the official Arc Raiders Twitter account. This is huge. This is a massive cut. Without giving you the exact percentage, it's like a 2/3 cut in the amount of interactions that they're getting. If they were posting every single day, and they just need a couple of those tweets per month to actually do something, whether they're showing off gameplay or showing off a cool, funny clip or something, they could get a semi-viral tweet and they could do way more for their game. I just feel like Embark is kind of dropping the ball, and, you guys have told me before, this is kind of what Embark does. They just stay very, very silent, and then obviously once things release, they're, open arms when it comes to interacting and everything. But Right now, I just feel like they're not doing themselves any favors. And also, I want to point out, we currently don't even have pre-orders yet for Arc Raiders. Now, we are supposedly getting that sometime here in the summer, but we do not have that yet either. So, you know, I would at least like to have the pre-orders up, get a little taste of what we're going to be getting for pre-order bonuses. Another thing, you know, typically with pre-orders, that would grant you access to a beta if there was one. And the lack of a pre-order kind of does double down on the lack of a beta. So we might genuinely have to wait until October, which is kind of sad, actually. And the final thing to just kind of triple down on Arc Raiders, just really nobody's talking about it right now, and this isn't something I'm going to show you on screen, but is the amount of views and the interactions on this channel of some of the content that's been previously posted. Now, obviously, I'm not posting any new content, but as for it being evergreen in the slightest, it's not. Over the last 7 days, Arc Raiders content on this channel has garnered 60 views. That's really bad, just to let you know. And if you want to put that in perspective, that's probably 6 cents. So, we're getting paid, baby. Now, I do want to wrap this video up on a pretty positive note, because I'm still pretty excited for Arc Raiders. And yes, this might have come off a little negative, but I want you to be completely aware that Arc Raiders is going to be, in my opinion, Game of the Year when it releases. Now, it's going to have a ton more competition, which I did previously have a video about that, but I didn't release it. I didn't want to put more negative vibes out right after we got that release date. I decided to hold back the video. It would have got a shitload of views, but it's not what we're here for. We're here for Arc Raiders. We're not here to shit on the game constantly. Now, like I said, kind of a negative video here today, but they're going to have a ton more competition, new Call of Duty, Tarkov 1.0, and a whole bunch of other games. But I still think, even with all of those powerhouse titles and game companies releasing something, I still think Arc Raiders is Game of the Year. I still think Arc Raiders is going to go back to 100 on this interest chart on these Google Trends. I still think Arc Raiders is going to provide one of the best gaming experiences that we have had to play in recent history, really. So let me know what you guys think about the state of Arc Raiders right now. I just kind of want more from Embark. I just want more interaction, more clips, or more teasers, or anything. I just want a little more. I want Arc Raiders to actually be on the map. I don't want this game to hypothetically not have as many people on it when it releases. I think the entire public needs to try this game, because a lot of people didn't get to play the playtest. And man, this game is so good. It's just a game you cannot miss. So when it releases, it's going to be fine. We know this. But not capitalizing on the hype when they had it, man, feels like they kind of missed out. Not like I work for them. Not like my pockets were affected. But I just think they missed an opportunity. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. It's good to be back. I'll try and post maybe a video a week or something just to give you a little something here and there to hold you over. But as you guys may or may not know, the Vault only has 8 hours of Arc Raiders content, and we've already shown all 8 hours already in some of the other videos. So I don't want to just show you the same shit every time, but it's all I got, and I'm not going to take anybody else's gameplay. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.